You're under arrest for the murder of William and Hilda Stone.
Everything is going according to plan.
These tests can't be right. Run them again. I can't be.
Lori, I can't do this. I can't let you get hurt.
Jacob, if you keep trying to get Nyla out, you might end up in there with her.
The Stone Empire is crumbling.
Your family got her into this, Jacob. Fix it.
Jacob, what are we going to do?
We're gonna fight like hell.
Say Less, I Love You. Season 4, Episode 5.
Chapter 327. Nyla. I've never realized how oppressive the weight of shackles can be until the moment they clamped cold metal around my wrist this morning, marching me out of Stonebridge Correctional to a transport van. The chain that links my ankles forces my steps into a humiliating shuffle. The guards barely speak to me, aside from grunts of, "Move along." Today is the day. My trial day. The morning sky is a dreary gray as they load me into the van, wedged between two other inmates, heading to various court dates. My palms are clammy, heart pounding wildly. This is it. I either prove my innocence or watch my entire future crumble. My baby's future. The ride to the courthouse feels endless. We sit on hard benches, a bored guard occasionally barking at us to keep quiet. My mind flickers to images of Jacob, of Derek, who's gone dark, and Trixa, who might have the key to exonerate me. I keep telling myself, she must show up. She must, or I'm doomed. But Derek and Trixa remain missing. The swirl of possibilities. Maybe they're lying low, or maybe Marcus got to them. Makes me feel sick. When we finally arrive, the van's heavy doors open onto a swarm of cameras. My stomach drops. Photographers crowd the sidewalk, shouting questions I can't make out. The guard leads me out, ankles clanking with every step, and an ugly wave of flashbulbs washes over me. Voices ring out. "Ms. Thomas, is it true you murdered the Stones for the inheritance? Are you pregnant? Is that real? Nyla, look here." I swallow hard, forcing my chin high. They don't see a terrified pregnant woman in a prison jumpsuit. They see a scandal. The guards hustle me inside the courthouse, half blocking the shouting reporters. My heart thrums in my ears. If only Trixa and Derek would appear with the proof. Without it, I face a bloodthirsty prosecution and a public ready to brand me cunning and murderous. They unshackle me just outside the courtroom, exchanging the heavy chains for a simpler set of handcuffs. A female guard mutters, "Don't try anything stupid," as if I could outrun half a police squad. Inmates from Stonebridge are lined up for their respective hearings. The corridor smells of old varnish and tension. I spot Joe's anxious face in the line behind me. She's here for a smaller hearing about a different matter, or maybe a testimony for my case as well. She gives me a supportive nod, but a bailiff waves her away. My chest squeezes. I hate how everything we do is under watchful eyes. Pushing forward, I step into the courtroom, where a swirl of voices hushes at my arrival. The overhead lights are bright, the polished benches half filled with spectators. Some press, some curious onlookers. My eyes land on Jacob Stone almost instantly. He's seated at the defense table beside Margaret Ross, my lawyer. He stands up the moment he sees me, worry etched across his features. He's in a tailored suit, hair combed back, but the dark circles under his eyes betray his stress. Margaret waves me over, giving me a calm, "We've got this" look. My stomach flutters with gratitude and dread. We're a team, but are we strong enough? The bailiff instructs me where to sit. As I approach, Jacob steps closer, voice low. "Are you okay?" He tries for a reassuring touch on my arm, but a guard scowls. We settle for a painful half-second of eye contact. I nod stiffly, fighting tears. We sit. The courtroom buzz surges as the judge's clerk announces, "Court is now in session for the murder trial of Ms. Nyla Thomas, accused of the homicide of William and Hilda Stone by sabotage." My pulse pounds so loud I barely hear the rest. The judge enters, and we all rise, adrenaline making my legs unsteady. Once the formalities are done, the prosecution, a tall woman with severe glasses, makes her opening statement. She's terrifyingly methodical. She outlines the so-called evidence, the funeral wreath purchase in my name, the toll booth photo, my mother-in-law's final voice message. My chest knots. We needed Trixa's stolen documents to blow all that open, but Trixa is nowhere. Across the aisle, I see a stoic figure. Marcus. He's wearing a dark suit, face impassive, though he occasionally glances my way with cold triumph. My blood chills. He orchestrated my ruin. I recall how he told the entire world Trixa is a murderer. He must know she tried to get me the real evidence. Margaret stands for our opening statement. She speaks of insufficient evidence, tampering, and potential conspiracies to frame my client. My heart clings to her every word, but I sense the jury's skepticism. Margaret alludes to Derek or Trixa possibly unveiling new data, but without them present, it's all intangible promises. Tension balloons in my chest. We're fighting illusions with illusions. When Margaret sits, she leans close, whispering, "Don't panic. We'll tear their evidence down piece by piece. If Trixa or Derek show up, even better. Stay strong." I manage a tight nod, but my hands are clammy. Stay strong. Right. The judge calls the first official witness, an investigating police officer. They recite how the car's brake line was cut, how they found suspicious footprints matching my shoe size. My mind swirls. Footprints? That's new. Another spurious detail, no doubt planted by Marcus. Margaret cross-examines, pointing out inconsistencies. The jury's expressions are mixed, some looking uncertain, others warily glancing at me. Next, we endure half an hour of more technical testimony. By the time the prosecution announces, "We call Miss Zara Delgado to the stand," my heart nearly stops. Zara, my ex-coworker at Stone Hospital, someone I once shared break-room chatter with, who always made snide remarks. But would she sink to lying? Sure enough, Zara strides in, wearing a conservative blouse, hair pinned back, face set in a strangely earnest expression. She barely looks at me. My heart hammers as she swears under oath to tell the truth. Then the prosecutor begins. "Miss Delgado, how long did you work alongside Miss Thomas at Stone Hospital?" 2 years, Zara answers calmly, eyes fixed forward. "We were both nurses in the same ward." Her voice is composed, but I can hear that undercurrent of nerves. "And in that time, did Miss Thomas ever discuss her relationship with the Stone family?" Zara exhales like she's playing the reluctant witness. God, this is staged. "Yes. Several times she complained about the demands of William and Hilda Stone. She said they were controlling and interfering with her personal life and medical decisions." I stiffen, outraged. Sure, I vented about Hilda's attitude or board politics once or twice, but never to Zara specifically, and never in a homicidal context. I shoot Margaret a panicked look. She squeezes my hand under the table, a silent signal to keep calm. The prosecutor pounces. "So Miss Thomas expressed resentment toward Hilda Stone?" Zara nods. "Yes. She called them the main obstacle to her future. She said they stood in the way of her truly expanding her influence at Stone Hospital." She hesitates, glancing at me briefly, then away. It sounded like she wanted them gone. My blood roars. That's an outright lie. I never said that. Or if I said anything vaguely negative, she's twisting it grotesquely. Jacob tenses next to me, anger shining in his eyes. I bite my tongue, fighting the urge to scream, "You liar!" The prosecutor simpers. "This must be difficult, Ms. Delgado, but the truth is vital. Did Ms. Thomas mention any plan to remove the stones or sabotage them?" Zara swallows. Not in direct words, she admits carefully. But she asked me once if I knew anything about the Stones' personal driver schedules. She seemed curious. My jaw clenches. That never happened. She's improvising, but she's good at sounding earnest. The jury leans in, intrigued. I glimpse Marcus smirking in the gallery. My stomach clenches with revulsion. He's orchestrating this performance. Margaret cross-examines, trying to poke holes. Ms. Delgado, you say you heard Miss Thomas speak ill of the Stones. Any proof? Written statements, texts, anything? Zara shakes her head, eyes downcast. It was all verbal. We were alone in the nurse station, or sometimes in the break room. Margaret keeps pressing. So, no one else overheard? No logs? No texts? Zara shrugs with a sorrowful look. Nyla confided in me because she thought I was trustworthy. Obviously, I regret not reporting it sooner, but I was intimidated. It's maddening. I sense the jury absorbing her story, no direct evidence, but the emotional tug is there. My breath shudders. Derek, Trixa, where are you? Finally, Zara steps down, after giving the prosecution a swirl of insinuations. As she passes the defense table, I catch her eye. For an instant, her composure cracks. Guilt or fear flickers behind her lashes. Then she hurries on, not daring to meet my gaze. She must be blackmailed or bribed. My chest aches. Another friend lost. The judge calls a short recess. I stand, a swirling mix of fury and heartbreak. The bailiff tries to nudge me back toward a holding area, but Margaret steps in. She has to use the restroom, she says. Allow it. With the judge's permission, a female guard escorts me to the public bathrooms down the hall, ignoring the press gawking from behind ropes. The restroom is quiet, bright fluorescent lights humming overhead. The guard waits by the entrance. I step to the sink, meeting my reflection. Face pale, eyes rimmed with exhaustion. Zara's testimony battered me. If the jury believes her, I'm done. Where is Trixa's proof? Where is Derek? I lean on the sink, tears burning at the corners of my eyes. The door swings open behind me. I turn, startled, only to see Jacob slip inside, ignoring the guard's warning hiss. Jacob? My voice wobbles with shock. He glances at the guard, who half opens her mouth, but he mutters a quick, "We need a moment." And, unbelievably, she just rolls her eyes and steps outside, shutting the door. My heart lurches as he crosses to me, suit jacket brushing the tile. "You shouldn't be here," I whisper. He just sighs, pulling me into a fierce hug. For a second, I stiffen, fearful we'll be caught or penalized, but then my chest crumples, and I cling to him as tears slip free. The sense of warmth, of safety, is overwhelming. His hand cups the back of my head, voice low. "Nyla, God, I'm so sorry about Zara. I had no idea she'd stoop that low." I sniff, burying my face in his shoulder. She's lying, or twisted the truth. But the jury? Oh God, it looks so real. He rubs a gentle circle on my back. Margaret will dismantle her statements, will show the jury she's compromised. Then he eases back, gaze flicking across my face. I see the pain in his eyes as he notices fresh bruises from the prison scuffle. "You're hurt again," he murmurs, voice raw. I swallow, hugging my arms around my waist, conscious of the baby. I had another attack, but I'm managing. Some new ally from Alexander is watching over me. My heart clenches, remembering Katrina's massive form, scaring away the other inmates. They said you or Alexander arranged watchers. Jacob's expression lightens with relief. Good. That means you're safer. Then a shadow crosses his face. I'm sorry. I wanted to do more. But everything's unraveling. Trixa and Derek are MIA. His voice cracks. I press my palm to his chest. I know. Margaret told me. The press says Trixa's wanted, that she killed some guard. Is that true? He looks away, jaw tight. She might have shot him in self-defense, but Marcus is spinning it like cold-blooded murder. Derek's with her. They promised me they had the evidence that could save you, but no word since. I'm terrified they're captured or dead. My throat tightens. We're in the same agony. Fear they've been cornered. If they're alive, they'll come, I say, trying to sound hopeful. They wouldn't abandon us. His eyes glisten. I want to believe that. He rests his forehead against mine briefly, letting out a ragged sigh. The closeness sets off a flurry of desperate longing. We can't talk or hold each other in public, and I might not see him again until day's end. I blink back tears. The trial? It's worse than I imagined. My voice trembles. Every question feels like a trap. He cups my cheeks, leaning in. We'll keep fighting, I promise. Don't lose hope. The moment Derek resurfaces, we'll blow this case wide open. He lowers his mouth to mine, a soft, urgent kiss. I inhale sharply, tears escaping. For a fleeting second, the world narrows to just us. His lips are warm, heartbreakingly tender amid the sterile bathroom tile. My ribs ache, but I kiss him back fiercely, letting that shared desperation pour out. I love him so much. The sense of dread melts into longing, and we cling to each other. Then the door handle rattles. We break apart, panting, hearts pounding. A muffled guard's voice. We're out of time. Miss Thomas, come on. Jacob squeezes my hand. Stay strong, he whispers fiercely. Please, I'll be right there in court. I manage a shaky nod before the door opens. The guard scowls, stepping in to herd me back. Jacob steps away, adjusting his jacket to appear composed. We exchange one last anguished look before the guard drags me out to the corridor. Back in the courtroom, the prosecution calls a few more dull forensic experts. I zone in and out, body drained from the emotional roller coaster. Margaret occasionally passes me notes. We'll cross-ex next, remain calm. I do my best to breathe steadily. Yet every mention of new witness sightings or toll booth anomalies stabs me. My mind can't stop replaying the image of Zara on the stand, calmly testifying that I complained about the stones. She was supposed to be a co-worker, not my downfall. Eventually, the judge calls it a day. My hearing continues tomorrow. My shoulders slump. One day in, and the prosecution hammered me with everything from stage funeral receipts to betrayal by a co-worker. Meanwhile, Trixa's proof is nowhere to be found. The bailiff leads me out, ignoring my trembling hands. Under the late afternoon sky, the prison van rattles back toward Stonebridge Correctional. My stomach tightens. Another night in that cell, another night of possible ambush. The only sliver of comfort is the knowledge that Katrina, the giant inmate, might protect me again. The ride is silent except for the hum of the engine. They hustle me through the main gates, reshackling me until I'm once again behind these walls that reek of disinfectant and despair. The overhead fluorescents glare as I walk down the corridor, guards flanking me. Just get back to my cell in one piece, I tell myself. In the general block, a few inmates hiss insults. Murderer! Heard your fiancé's entire fortune is going to blow. I grit my teeth, refusing to react. My heart is raw from the day's humiliations. Then someone else sneers. Your own co-worker sold you out, huh? Maybe you are a psycho. More cackles. I nearly snap, but I keep my head down. Jo's cell is across the block. I catch a glimpse of her anxious eyes as she notices me passing. She mouths, "You good?" I nod, lips pressed thin. She relaxes, but concern lingers in her gaze. A group of scowling inmates moves to block my path. My stomach clenches. Move, I say quietly. They just smirk, but before they can taunt me further, a towering figure steps around from behind them, Katrina, the massive woman who intervened in the last attack. She stands with arms folded, scowling down at them. "Clear out!" she growls, voice like thunder. They back off instantly, shooting me hateful glares but not daring to cross Katrina. My shoulders sag in relief. Her gaze flicks to me and she jerks her head. "Keep walking." I do, grateful not to be cornered yet again. At my cell, a guard unlocks it with a clang. I step inside, and there's Jo, pacing with a worried expression. The moment the door locks, she rushes up. "How'd it go?" I sink onto my bunk, exhausted. Horrible. I manage. Zara was the star witness, spinning lies. Trixa's still missing. We're drowning Jo. Her face falls. "Zara, you mentioned her once, a coworker, right? So she's the traitor." She exhales shakily. "What about the evidence Trixa had?" I rub my aching temples. No sign of it. Derek vanished with her. Either they're captured or lying low, or I don't know. My throat tightens. What if Trixa ran away for good? Or they're dead? I hate even thinking that. Jo places a comforting hand on my shoulder. "Don't assume the worst. But I get it. This is a nightmare." Then she half smiles. "We have people inside now, at least. Katrina's scaring everyone from messing with you. Even the guards tread lightly around her." I nod, recalling the mention that Alexander arranged watchers. My chest warms at the memory of Jacob's stolen kiss earlier. But that warmth is quickly buried by dread. Trixa's disappearance is a gaping wound in my defense. If the trial ends without her data, the prosecution's spin stands unchallenged. Just then, a towering shadow appears at the bars. Katrina. The guard must have let her pass. She leans close enough to speak, her voice low. "You survived the day in court." I manage a wry shrug. "Barely. We got hammered." She grunts. "Don't give up. Word is you have more days ahead. Focus on not getting shanked or beaten in here." Her steely gaze flicks to Jo. Both of you watch each other's backs. Jo crosses her arms. "Thanks, but we can handle ourselves." Katrina smirks, unoffended. "Sure, just remember. Alexander's orders were that you survive until the trial is done. If you lose hope, you'll do something foolish. Don't." The mention of Alexander tugs at my heart. I know he's trying, but everything feels hopeless. Trixa was our best shot, and now, I swallow. Now I don't see a way out. Katrina's lips press into a thin line. You never know. People come back from the dead all the time in a war like this. She steps back from the bars. "If you need me, you know where I bunk." And with that, she lumbers off, scattering a few gawking inmates who see her presence and scramble aside. I exhale heavily, sinking back on my bunk. Jo kneels beside me, fiddling with the scratchy blanket. We'll just have to hope Trixa didn't run away. Maybe she's gathering more evidence, or maybe Derek's helping her hide from Marcus's men. I close my eyes, the day's exhaustion slamming into me, the swirl of humiliations in court, Zara's lies, the knowledge that the jury is half convinced I'm some cunning fiancé, my baby, my child's entire future. It's all on the line. A tear slips free. And if they're both dead, or if Trixa decided to cut her losses, Jo squeezes my hand. One day at a time, Nyla. Tomorrow is another session in court. Maybe Margaret can poke holes in Zara's story. Maybe Derek will pop up soon. I let out a trembling sigh. I just can't stand not knowing. My mind reels with the memory of Jacob's embrace in the courthouse restroom, that fleeting stolen kiss, the raw longing in his eyes. He's fighting so hard, but the world is stacked against us. Jo helps me lie down carefully, mindful of my bruised ribs. She attempts a shaky smile. You look wiped. Rest. We'll face tomorrow head on. I nod. though my thoughts churn. Rest. My heart is too restless for that. Hammered by images of Trixa with a stolen USB, Derek on the run, Marcus sneering at me from the stands. My eyes close nonetheless, a wave of fatigue dragging me under. As I drift, the final memory of the day replays. Zara's cold voice, claiming I wanted the stones gone. The jury's startled faces, Marcus's triumphant glare, Jacob's whispered vow in the restroom, "Don't lose hope." But after everything, I feel that hope slipping, replaced by a gnawing fear that my baby and I might never see freedom. And so I lie there in the cell's fluorescent gloom, half lulled by exhaustion, half shaken by despair. Katrina's and Joe's assurances echo faintly, but the specter of Trixa's disappearance and Zara's betrayal weighs heavily on my chest. Tomorrow the trial continues. More witnesses, more acid-laced questions. Unless a miracle arrives, unless Trixa and Derek reemerge with the truth, I'm stumbling toward conviction and a future behind these bars. Please. I whisper in the silence, gripping the thin sheet over my abdomen. We need you now, Derek. Trixa. Don't leave us to Marcus's lies. But the only response is the distant clang of a cell door and the quiet hiss of the overhead lights, sealing me once again in this endless prison night.
He's the mysterious man I had a fling with last night, and it turns out he's my dad's new boss.
I was getting IVF, but the donor came in and wanted his stuff back. It was too late. Now we're stuck together and I'm having his baby.
Ready to dive into a world where passion meets intrigue, where love knows no bounds.
If I don't find a woman to marry in the next 24 hours, then my entire company is going to be taken from me. There's only one woman I can ask, but she hates me because I ruined her father.
Introducing the Escape Your Life with Romance Book Bundle by Amazon best-selling author Nyla Walker, a collection of 100 standalone romances that promised to sweep you off your feet.
And the best part?
Get 90% off on the whole bundle, baby.
For $99.99, you'll get over 800 hours of pure romance with strong alpha males and sassy women who don't back down.
They can pass all the tariffs they want, ladies. But you won't find this deal for 100 audiobooks for less than $1 each anywhere else.
90 cents per book for all the dirty fun I can handle? How could I say no to that?
Visit TylaWalker.com to grab this bundle today.
Get ready to escape your life.
With Miss Nyla.
Chapter 328. Alexander. I stride into the firing range. The overhead fluorescent buzz punctuated by the rhythmic crack of gunshots. A wall of acrid gunpowder hits my nostrils, but I welcome it. I need something tangible to focus on, a release for the coil of pressure strangling my chest. Outside these walls, my organization teeters on the brink of mutiny. My Uncle Ivan remains a hostage of faceless kidnappers, and Trixa's meltdown has battered our alliances with Stone Hospital. Right now, the only thing I can control is my stance, my aim and the recoil in my hands. I nod to the rangemaster, a gray-haired ex-mercenary with half a smirk. He doesn't comment, just gestures to an empty lane. I slide on ear protectors, letting the pistol's cold grip center me. Lifting it, I squeeze off 3 shots at the paper target. Pop, pop, pop. Each bullet rips through the silhouette, but it's nowhere near as satisfying as the relief I crave. In the corner of my eye, I sense a cluster of men watching. Old loyalists. They demanded this meeting, though it's less a formal sit-down and more a tension-laced test of my composure. They want answers about Ivan, about the rumored ransom, about whether I'll cave or fight. Usually I'd gather them in the study, but right now, I'd prefer the savage calm of the range. Maybe we can talk with cordite swirling around us. I unload the spent magazine. One loyalist, an older man named Oleg, approaches, stepping carefully around the shell casings. "Alexander," he says, voice low. "We need to talk." The lines etched on his face betray a swirl of impatience. I switch safeties and set the pistol on the ledge. I know. Stripping off the ear protectors, I gesture him to follow me toward a side area where the clang of gunfire is less oppressive. Another half-dozen men from my ranks, Mikhail, Leonid, a few younger enforcers, trail behind, forms tense. My heart thumps with the knowledge that some of these men doubt my leadership. With Ivan kidnapped, they sense weakness. We gather near a battered steel table used for reloading ammo. Oleg glances at the fresh bullet holes in the lane behind us, then locks eyes with me. "The kidnappers gave you a new deadline, yes? They want the ransom by tomorrow night." "Midnight," I confirm tersely. "Or they kill Ivan. They also demand I cede certain leadership rights, essentially stepping back so the old guard can reclaim power." Mikhail curses under his breath. "Outrageous. If you pay them off, you invite more kidnappings. But if you refuse, they kill your uncle." He rubs his temples, frustration palpable. One of the younger men, Vitaly, speaks up. "We can't let them butcher the old boss. That'd be a humiliation for the entire Solikov family." Leonid snorts. "Humiliation is the least of it. They might glean secrets from him under torture. Contacts, safe houses, infiltration plans." He shoots me a pointed look. "We can't risk that. Maybe we should do a rescue mission. Gather a strike team." I set my jaw. We don't even have a precise location. They bounce calls from burner phones. The only clue is they're open to negotiating a drop tomorrow night. But they'll likely shift location last minute. It's a trap either way. A ripple of agitation passes through the group. Oleg rubs his arms. "So what's your plan, Alexander?" "Time's running out. Our men are restless. They want action, or at least clarity." I clench my fists. I'm weighing a covert sting, a strike team hidden nearby while I pretend to cooperate with the ransom. If the kidnappers slip up or bring Ivan, we can extract him. But if they catch even a whiff of betrayal, we risk Ivan's life. No guarantee we can outmaneuver them. Silence for a moment. The men exchange glances. The tension is thick enough to taste. Mikhail finally mutters, "Better than handing over all our resources and losing your seat, right?" I incline my head. We can't capitulate to every demand. If I look weak, we invite a full-blown civil war or further extortion. But I won't let them kill Ivan either. That's not an option. Leonid steps forward, face grim. "We'll need a loyal team. Only those we trust. Some of the old loyalists might secretly side with the kidnappers, hoping you fail, and they can reclaim the throne." Anger burns in my gut. Exactly. My gaze sweeps across them. Check backgrounds. Keep a tight circle. Anyone showing signs of betrayal gets removed from the operation, understood? A chorus of agreement rumbles. Vitaly lifts a brow. "And the money?" "We can't pretend to show up empty-handed. They'll smell a setup." I nod. "I'll assemble partial funds. Enough to look convincing. We stage the handoff carefully. If the kidnappers see we're short, it might spark immediate violence." I press a thumb against my temple, a headache building. "We'll finalize details tonight." Oleg, seeming somewhat mollified, crosses his arms. "All right. We'll pass the message to the men. Let's hope your plan doesn't get Ivan killed. My chest tightens at the insinuation that I might fail, but I keep my voice steady. Hope isn't enough. We do this precisely or not at all. My gaze flicks back to the range lane. Dismissed for now. Meet again at midnight to refine the approach. They file out with curt nods. I grab the pistol again, needing one more round to burn off the swirl of frustration. But as I raise the gun, my phone buzzes in my jacket pocket, jarring my nerves. Kidnappers? Another threat? Stepping aside, I fish it out. The screen shows a text from an unknown number, briefly spiking my heart. I open it. If you want your uncle breathing, show proof of stepping down. By 8 p.m., broadcast your new interim boss. We want public confirmation. I scowl. Another manipulative demand. They want me to publicly name a replacement, effectively surrendering leadership. Not happening. Jaw clenched, I slip the phone away. I will handle them. But the fear thrums deeper. Every hour they tighten the noose. I exit the firing range, exchanging the acrid air for a sleek private lounge in our main complex. The stench of stress follows me. A discreet bar lines one wall, but I skip the alcohol for now. I need a clear head. Instead, I pass a handful of associates, eyes flicking away politely, and settle at a corner table. A giant TV on mute flashes headlines about Trixa's murder accusations, with Marcus lamenting lost father of two. My chest knots. Trixa might have shot that guard in self-defense, but the damage is done. Worse, Derek's name is now dragged through the mud as her accomplice. The entire fiasco tarnishes any alliance we had with Stone. My phone remains silent about them, too. From the corner of my eye, I see Dimitri. He's the one I trust the most. He slides into the chair across from me. I've run background checks on the men you mentioned, he says in a low voice. 2 are questionable. The rest are solid for the rescue operation. I nod, half distracted by the TV's images of Trixa's face next to a funeral photo for that guard. Excellent. Exclude the questionable ones. We can't risk infiltration. Keep the final team small. He notices my tight jaw, flicks his gaze to the screen. It's not your fault, boss, he says softly. Marcus is a master manipulator. Trixa tried to do right by Nyla. She's just a scapegoat now. I sigh. We needed Trixa's evidence for Nyla's trial. Without it, she's floundering. And Derek's lost with her, likely in mortal danger. I can't help them, not with Ivan's crisis overshadowing everything. My frustration spills out. I promised I'd keep watchers around Nyla, but now this meltdown might expose them. I'm juggling too many bombs. Dimitri's brow furrows. Any word from the watchers inside Stonebridge Correctional? Did they sense new threats from the warden? I rub my temples. They reported multiple attacks on Nyla. They're protecting her for now. But if the kidnappers or Marcus discover that infiltration, we lose that advantage. Another reason we can't surrender leadership. My watchers would be outed in the shuffle. He nods grimly. We'll keep it quiet. Then he hesitates. What about Lori? My stomach drops. That name reopens a raw wound. I haven't called her. Too dangerous. The old loyalists watch my every move. The kidnappers might see her as leverage. My voice falters, but ignoring her, it's tearing me up. Dimitri's expression softens. Sometimes a call or text might help both of you. But I get it. Safety first. I force a half smile that doesn't reach my eyes. Maybe after tomorrow, If we rescue Ivan, I'll see her. For now, we focus on the mission. My phone pings with another text from that unknown number. We're waiting, Alexander. Tick-tock. I show Dmitri, who sets his jaw. They're getting pushy, he mutters. We'll be ready. As twilight falls, I retreat to my estate's interior office for final preparations. The corridors echo with hushed footsteps. Guards, posted at intervals, nod respectfully, but I sense their tension. Everyone knows a storm is coming. In the office's dim light, I spread out a large city map on the desk. Dmitri, Oleg, and Mikhail flank me. We pin possible exchange sites, old warehouses near the harbor, abandoned factories on the outskirts. The kidnappers might pick any. We talk through earpiece channels, vantage points for snipers or watchers. My heart beats fast with the mania of planning a do-or-die mission. Let's pick the harbor, I conclude. Multiple shipping crates and cargo trucks for cover. If they text a final address, we pivot. But at least we have a baseline plan. I trace a route with my finger. Van with half the ransom, a second van with the strike team. We converge from opposite sides. Oleg lights a cigarette, exhaling smoke. It's riskier in the harbor. Lots of corners to get ambushed. But if we set watchers on overhead cranes or catwalks, it might work. Mikhail frowns. If Ivan's there, we can't guarantee they won't shoot him on sight if they see a team. I swallow. We have to minimize that. I'll approach them with the money openly. The strike team stays hidden until we confirm Ivan's presence. Then we move. One shot at success. Dmitri scribbles notes. We'll be locked and loaded. Just make sure they see you alone, or they'll bolt. Tension thickens. This is insane. My mind drifts to a fleeting thought. Would Jacob help if I asked? But that'd drag Stone further into my underworld. We've had enough fiascos. I won't entangle him. Moreover, the kidnappers might want me to sabotage Stone's trial or sever ties. No, I can't contact Jacob. Time is too short, and I refuse to use him as a shield. Another beep from my phone. The kidnappers, no doubt, stoking fear. I ignore it for the moment, turning to Oleg. Assemble half the ransom. I'll keep a fraction as proof of sincerity. Next text might lock in a meeting time. They nod and disperse. My reflection in the window glass meets me. Exhausted eyes, shoulders taut, all this, and I still haven't texted Lori. My chest aches recalling her last messages, unread. I flip open the phone, seeing her name near the top, but I can't bring myself to dial. Another pang of guilt. She deserves better than my chaos. Shaking my head, I pocket the device. Focus, Alexander. A hush falls over the estate as the clock nears 9 p.m. I'm alone in my study, lights dimmed, waiting. The phone sits on the desk, an invisible time bomb. Right on cue, it vibrates. A single ring, an unknown caller. My pulse spikes. Showtime. I snatch it. Yes. A distorted voice crackles. Have you complied? A mechanical undertone suggests a voice modulator. We watched for your public announcement of stepping down, but we see nothing. Are you testing our patience? My heart thuds. I need more time. One day. Let me reassure my men. A scoff. You have until midnight. Then we kill him. Or maybe we'll carve off something for emphasis. My gut twists at the mental image. Meet at the Old Harbor Terminal, 11:45 p.m. Bring the money. Bring proof of your resignation. If we sense a trap. A pause, laced with malice. Ivan dies. The line clicks, dead. I exhale shakily, scribbling the location on a notepad. Terminal 17. We guessed the harbor at least. The time is set. I type a quick group message to Dmitri, Oleg, Mikhail. Meet me in 15. We have the location. Another wave of dread. No mention of how they'll confirm my stepping down. Perhaps they want a public statement. I can't give them that. I'll have to bluff. We gather in a small, secured lounge behind the estate's main hall. The old loyalists demanded to watch me sign some official stepping down, but I refuse. This hush briefing is enough. Oleg sets a duffel on the coffee table, unzipping to reveal thick wads of currency. It's not the full ransom, maybe a fraction, but enough to look legitimate. My hope is that once we confirm Ivan's location, we can spring the trap. I outline the plan quickly. Phase 1. I arrive at Terminal 17 with the duffel, accompanied by only Dmitri as my driver. Phase 2. Mikhail, Oleg, and a handful of loyal men position themselves in vantage points around the cargo crates. Phase 3. I stall, demanding proof Ivan's alive. If we see him, Dmitri signals the strike team. If the kidnappers suspect anything, we pivot fast. The men nod. Tension crackles. We have to do it flawlessly, I say, keeping my voice steady. One slip, and they shoot him. That's not an option. No one questions me further. They sense the weight on my shoulders. We move out into the estate courtyard under a moonless sky. Vehicles idle. Black SUVs shining under floodlights. This is it. A do-or-die rescue attempt in the next couple hours. Before we climb into the SUVs, Dmitri pulls me aside. Boss, you sure about facing them personally? They might kill you once they have the bag. I meet his gaze. I'm sure. If I don't go, they'll suspect a trick. I must show them I'm serious about saving Ivan. A pang hits me, recalling my vow to keep the family from reverting to old bloody ways. But here I am, orchestrating a mini covert op. No choice. We do what's necessary, I add quietly. He presses his lips thin and nods. We drive under the cover of darkness, winding through industrial streets. The city's glow recedes behind us, replaced by towering cranes and shipping containers. Terminal 17 sits near the far edge, a labyrinth of cargo crates stacked like giant tombstones. The air smells of salt and diesel. Dmitri maneuvers the SUV into a deserted lot near the specified location. Headlights off, we slip into a shadow. I spot movement in my rearview mirror, Mikhail's and Oleg's vehicles parking at vantage points. My phone dings. We're in position. Good. My chest pounds as I check my watch. 11:40 p.m. The kidnappers said 11:45. Perfect. Dmitri and I step out, leaving the engine idle. The night wind cuts through my jacket. My breath puffs in the cold. I keep a firm hand on the duffel. Act calm. They can't see any sign of fear. We walk deeper into the container maze. The overhead floodlights are minimal, casting huge shadows. Metal creaks in the breeze. I can practically feel snipers or watchers on the rooftops. My phone buzzes. A text from the kidnappers. Dock B near the forklift. I glance around. There's a sign indicating Dock B straight ahead. I murmur to Dmitri, "Wait by that forklift. Don't follow too close." He hesitates, but nods. I proceed, heart hammering. God, let me see Ivan alive. At the forklift area, I spot 3 figures in black clothing, faces partially obscured by masks. The middle one holds a rifle, The other two stand tensely. A flickering overhead lamp reveals the glint of metal. My palm sweats on the duffel handle. "Stop there," hisses the man with the rifle, voice scratchy. "Put the bag down." I rest it on the ground. "Show me Ivan first," I say, voice unwavering despite my racing pulse. A shorter figure steps forward with a tablet. They tap the screen, showing a live feed. A battered Ivan, slumped in a chair, hands bound, face swollen. My stomach heaves at the sight. He's breathing but looks half delirious. At least he's alive. "You see your dear uncle?" the masked man says. "Now keep your end of the deal. Announce your resignation. We want proof you relinquished leadership." I grit my teeth, improvising. I have documents in the bag. They're signed, prepared for official registration. Once I confirm Ivan's safe, I'll release them publicly. A tense pause. The man with the rifle motions for one of his companions to check the bag. The second figure rummages through it, flipping through the stacks of money and forged resignation papers I had prepared. They glance at the masked leader, nodding. I exhale carefully. "Now, bring Ivan here. Once I see he can walk, I'll call my men to spread the official notice." Rifleman snorts. "We aren't letting him near you until we're gone." He waves a phone. "Call your men now. We want to watch you declare it. Do it." My pulse spikes. We plan to stall, but they're forcing immediate proof. "Let me confirm something with my attorneys," I say, stalling. "Then?" He raises the rifle menacingly. "No more games, Alexander. We can tell if you're lying. 5 seconds. I glance around, half hoping Mikhail's snipers have a shot. But we haven't seen Ivan physically present. That feed could be from anywhere. If we open fire now, we might kill a few kidnappers, but we still won't retrieve Ivan's location. Trapped. Clenching my jaw, I pull out my phone. Dimitri's or Mikhail's earpiece might be open. If they realize I'm stuck. "Fine," I murmur. "I will call an associate to post the official statement." I dial a number, letting it ring. Mikhail picks up with a disguised voice we arranged. I speak into the phone loud enough for the kidnappers to overhear. "This is Alexander. It's time. Release the statement about my stepping down." My heart slams. If Mikhail can't figure a quick rescue or get a location for Ivan, we might be done. The masked man nods. "Good." He gestures to the second figure, who again checks the duffel. Then the man lifts his phone, presumably calling someone. "He's cooperating," he mutters to the line. "Send the package?" That must be Ivan, I realize, adrenaline spiking. If they're moving him, maybe Mikhail can trace the signal or pounce. I try to remain calm, my mind racing. Before the kidnappers can finalize anything, a series of pops echoes from behind the containers. Shouts ring out. Some of my watchers have engaged an unseen threat or maybe encountered more kidnappers. The masked men stiffen. Rifleman hisses, "What the hell?" He whips around, scanning the gloom. "You brought an ambush?" His tone is furious, finger tightening on the trigger. I freeze, hands up. Wait, that's not me. It's too late. The kidnappers suspect a betrayal. One of them aims a pistol at me. My mind whirls. Maybe a rival group or more kidnappers are spooking our watchers. Shots echo again, nearer this time. Rifleman curses, motioning his men. "We're leaving. If you come after us, your uncle dies." A swirl of panic. We can't let them vanish. But if we strike now, they might kill Ivan on sight. My only chance is to keep them talking. Wait, we can fix this, I shout, stepping forward. I can call them off. Boom! Another shot cracks from the side. The second figure near the forklift spins with a gasp, dropping to the ground, a bullet to the chest. My heart leaps. I see the muzzle flash from behind a stack of crates. Someone on my side? Or an unknown third party? The masked men scramble for cover. I duck behind the forklift, adrenaline roaring. If this devolves into a firefight, we lose Ivan's location for sure. Rifleman yells, "Fall back!" He fires a burst in the direction of the shot. Sparks fly, the bullet ricocheting off steel. I flatten myself, teeth clenched. "Dimitri!" I call out. "Hold your fire!" But the place erupts with more gunshots. The masked kidnappers drag their wounded comrade away, cursing. The phone feed with Ivan's image is nowhere in sight. As they retreat deeper into the container maze, I consider chasing them, but realize it's a suicide run. They might have more men stashed, and I can't pinpoint Ivan. Gritting my teeth, I roll behind a crate, searching for my backup. Dimitri emerges from the shadows, pistol raised. "Boss, are you okay?" Idiots. Who fired first? We lost them. I snap, frustration slicing through me. He looks baffled. None of ours shot. Must be a third party or an unknown factor. We're pinned. In the distance, footsteps pound, presumably the kidnappers fleeing. My phone lights with an incoming call. I snatch it up. Unknown. "Hello?" My voice trembled with anger. A distorted tone. "You lied to us. You set a trap. Ivan's fate is sealed." Then a click. The line goes dead. A hollow chill seizes my heart. They think I double-crossed them. For a few endless minutes, sporadic gunshots resound. My men scramble. We converge behind cargo crates, scanning for more kidnappers or whomever triggered this fiasco. Eventually, the firing stops. An eerie silence descends, the acrid smell of gunpowder lingering. Mikhail appears, panting. We engaged unknown shooters near the west gate. Probably more kidnappers or a different faction. They fled. He glances at my distraught face. We didn't mean to blow the infiltration. None of ours took the first shot. I slump against a container, teeth clenched. It doesn't matter. The kidnappers blame us. They'll kill Ivan if they haven't already. Dimitri curses. We can still chase them. No. My voice is hollow. They're gone, and we have no location. Rushing blindly is suicide. Silence. The men exchange worried looks. Oleg touches my shoulder. We'll regroup, maybe track their footprints or leftover shells for clues. I nod numbly. Try. But they might vanish entirely. Inside, despair claws at me. Ivan might be tortured or murdered tonight. I tried everything, and still we lost him in a swirl of chaotic gunfire. I don't think for his life and death, but this will heavily impact the family. My leadership, and I'm quite sure, they're going to torture him and extract our secrets. Only God knows how terrible the secrets Ivan's hiding are. Close to midnight, we retreat to our SUVs and speed back, hearts heavy. No sign of kidnappers or Ivan. The mission is a catastrophic failure. I slump in the passenger seat, ignoring Dimitri's attempts to reassure me. My phone remains silent. If the kidnappers do contact me again, it'll be to say Ivan's dead. The thought wrenches my gut. We arrive at the estate. the gate guards parting nervously. The men disperse with grim faces, needing rest or medical checks. I head straight to my private office, slamming the door behind me. My entire body trembles with anger, shame, and a raw sense of defeat. Within minutes, Oleg and Mikhail barge in. Oleg's voice is tight. We have an internal meltdown. Old loyalists heard about the fiasco at the harbor. Some are furious we tried a stealth approach, blaming you for risking Ivan's life. I bury my face in my hands. Great. Another uprising brewing? Mikhail sighs. Potentially. They're demanding an immediate new leader if you can't secure Ivan. This fiasco gave them ammo. A hot flash of fury grips me. I'm still in charge. Anyone who tries to overthrow me will regret it. Understood? They nod, uneasy. Oleg swallows. We stand by you, but you have to manage the fallout carefully, or the old guard might stage their own rescue and tear the city apart. Mikhail glances at his phone. One more piece of bad news. Media's doubling down on Trixa as a murder suspect. Marcus gave another statement, wailing about how Derek betrayed Stone alliances. The meltdown is undermining any illusions of stability. Stone Hospital might be on the brink. I grit my teeth. This is all Marcus's orchestration. He set Trixa up and exploited the chaos. Meanwhile, Nyla's trial is compromised, and we failed to rescue Ivan tonight. Everything is going to hell. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. My heart leaps, but it's a spam message. I exhale bitterly. Then I see an older text from Lori I never opened. Alexander, I am worried about you. Please talk to me. Guilt stabs me anew. She's probably fed up with my silence, but I can't bring her into this meltdown. Mikhail and Oleg exchange glances, sensing my heartbreak. They tactfully say nothing. The swirl of enemies, lost allies, and kidnappers is enough weight without me adding my personal misery. I bury the phone in my pocket, forcing my voice steady. We regroup tomorrow. For now, keep watch for any sign of contact from the kidnappers. Oleg inclines his head. Yes, sir. We'll keep a skeleton crew on high alert. Good night. He and Mikhail depart, leaving me alone with the tang of failure.
You know that feeling when a book pulls you in, wraps around you, and refuses to let go? When the tension is so thick, you swear you can feel it?
Welcome to 30 sinfully addictive romance audiobooks that will ruin your sleep.
Wow, I wasn't ready for this. One chapter in, and I'm already hooked.
Oh, you thought this was just another audiobook collection. No, sweetheart. This is the Dirty 30. Forbidden love, dangerous desires, billionaires with secrets, bad boys who bite back. And every last word is dripped in temptation.
I thought I could just listen to one chapter before bed. Now it's 2 a.m. and I need answers.
So what are you waiting for? Click the link. Start listening. Let the Dirty 30 ruin you in the best way possible.
Escape your life with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 329. Jacob. I wake before sunrise in a sweat-soaked tangle of bed sheets, heart pounding from another nightmare about Nyla languishing in that prison. For a second, I don't remember I'm home, then reality slams in. Derek is still missing. Trixa's name is all over the news for murder, and Nyla's trial is halfway through. She's trapped in a world of barbed wire and brutal guards, while the prosecution spins her as a gold-digging killer. As I swing my legs off the mattress, my phone screen glares. Not a single new message from Derek or Trixa. Anxiety gnaws at me, but Margaret Ross's text from last night flashes in my mind. Possible conjugal visit. We found a high-up official in the correctional system who will allow me 30 minutes with Nyla. Under the table, hush hush. It's not even standard procedure. It's purely a bribe-laced favor. In normal circumstances, I'd hate stooping this low. But I'd sell my soul to see her for half an hour. By the time I pull into the courthouse parking lot, a chaotic swirl of reporters is already shouting about Trixa's alleged murder spree. Cameras thrust forward, bulbs flashing. One journalist yells, "Mr. Stone, do you support Trixa's capture? Is Stone Hospital collapsing?" Another fires, "Has your friend, Derek Shaw, abandoned you?" I grit my teeth and push through, ignoring the questions. My suit jacket feels suffocating. The moment I slip into the lobby, Margaret intercepts me, gripping my elbow. "Jacob," she mutters under her breath, leading me aside. "We have a short window. The prosecution's on a tangent about minor Stone documents this morning, and I used a couple of favors to secure a recess. You'll have 30 minutes, maybe less." My pulse thrums. "Where?" She glances around to ensure no one's listening. "A guard loyal to that official is set to escort Nyla to a back room near the attorney offices. Just keep it discreet." My heart clutches with relief. "Thank you." She offers a tight nod. "Zara's testimony hammered us already, but rumor has it she might come back for more details soon. If Nyla isn't emotionally shored up for cross-examination, it'll break her." A swirl of anger. I recall Zara on the stand, calmly spouting half-lies that made the jury lean forward in rapt attention. "I'll do everything I can," I say. "Nyla needs hope." Margaret nods. "All right. The judge starts in 10 minutes. Keep your phone on vibrate. I'll signal you." Inside the courtroom, the lights feel harsher than normal. Nyla is brought in, flanked by grim-faced guards. She looks paler, a fresh bruise blooming on her collarbone. My gut twists at the sight. She's not even allowed to meet my gaze for long before a bailiff nudges her forward. Across the aisle, Marcus sits with a smug air, occasionally leaning to whisper to one of his legal allies. Our eyes meet. His silent gloat makes my jaw clench. He orchestrated Trixa's meltdown and pinned a murder rap on her. If he's truly behind Derek's vanishing too, Court is now in session. The judge's gavel breaks my dark thoughts. The prosecution calls an administrative staffer from Stone Hospital, trying to bolster their argument that Nyla manipulated records. It's minor, but each question and answer is another needle under my skin. Nyla sits stiffly, occasionally wincing if she moves her arm wrong. I can hardly focus, waiting for Margaret's sign. Come on. After half an hour of mind-numbing testimony, the prosecution fumbles for more documents. The judge, exasperated, agrees to a short recess. My phone vibrates. Margaret. "Now?" I stand abruptly, ignoring the curious stares from the press pool. On cue, a discreet guard near the side exit beckons me. I hurry over. He leads me down a narrow corridor, no windows, the fluorescent buzz echoing in the hush. My stomach flips. Only half an hour to see her, to reassure her we can beat this. At a locked door, the guard raps twice. It opens from inside, revealing another heavier-set guard who jerks his chin at me. Make it quick. Bribes only buy so long. I step through. The moment the door shuts behind me, I see Nyla. She's perched on a small wooden chair, hair pulled back from her bruised face, wearing that faded prison jumpsuit. The flush of relief in her eyes nearly undoes me. I cross the room in 2 strides, pulling her up into my arms. "Jacob," she breathes, voice cracking. Then neither of us speaks for a moment. We're too busy clinging tight, tears slipping from both sets of eyes. My lips find hers, urgent, desperate. The staleness of the room dissolves under the sheer warmth of her presence. She trembles in my hold. I thought we might never get another moment alone. Her tears dampen the front of my suit. Zara's lies, these relentless attacks, I'm so tired. press a hand gently along the bruise on her collarbone, anger flaring. I swear, once this is over, I'm pulling you out of that godforsaken place. Derek and Trixa have the evidence somewhere. We'll blow Marcus's scheme to bits. Her face twists with worry. But Derek's gone. And Trixa, the news says she murdered a man. What if they're never found? Her voice quivers, raw terror shining through. My heart wrenches. They might be in hiding, or forced underground, I whisper, brushing hair from her brow. We can't give up. Margaret's working angles. Alexander has watchers protecting you from more beatings. I cradle her cheeks in my palms, forcing calm into my tone. We'll find a way. She leans her forehead against mine, tears pooling. Every night I imagine the day we walk free. Just you, me, and our baby. A soft, near-hysterical laugh escapes. That dream keeps me breathing. A burst of warmth surges in my chest. Me too, I say, swallowing the lump in my throat. We never picked a name, I add, voice trembling. Let's pick one now. She tries a shaky smile. A name? She half laughs through tears. If it's a girl, maybe Cassidy, or Liana, something bright and musical. Her eyes brim with hope. And if it's a boy, maybe we name him after your father. Or not, given all this turmoil. Maybe Ethan? She laughs, watery. I can't decide. My heart clenches. Cassidy sounds sweet, I murmur, pulling her closer. We just stand there, her head on my shoulder, letting the promise of a child's future be the anchor in this swirling storm. For a moment I can imagine a normal life. Nursery decorations, bedtime stories. The guard outside raps on the door once, a muffled warning. 10 minutes. Nyla tenses, nails digging into my jacket. Only 10? Her eyes dart around the cramped space as if searching for a way to freeze time. I know. My throat tightens. Let's just hold each other. I guide her to the small chair, settling her on my lap so as not to strain her bruised ribs. We share more kisses, gentle, lingering. Each one feels like a lifeline. Her tears drip onto my collar. Jacob. Once the day ends, I go back to that cell. They watch my every move. I'm so afraid I'll never see you again on the outside. You will, I vow, voice shaking with conviction I barely feel. We'll raise Cassidy or Ethan in a real home. We'll teach them how to walk, talk. You'll show them how to be kind, how to nurse their scrapes. I'll read them bedtime stories every night. The vision is so vivid it almost hurts. Nyla's hand brushes my cheek. Don't let the board push you away from me, she whispers, eyes dark with worry. I know they want you to focus on Stone's reputation, but... I hush her with the soft press of my lips. They can threaten all they want. I'm not abandoning you. Then I exhale hard. We're in this together. A final knock, louder, more insistent. Time's up. The guard's voice. My breath catches as I stand, gently lifting Nyla up. She clings to me, tears shining, and we share one last searing kiss. I love you, she chokes, no matter what they say. I love you too, I rasp, forcing a reassuring smile. Stay strong. We're so close. The door swings open. The guard scowls, stepping in to separate us physically. Nyla's hand slips from mine, and I want to scream at the injustice of it all. But there's no time. She's hustled into the corridor. The final glimpse of her tear-stained face burns into my soul. I force myself to re-enter the main courtroom, cheeks still damp. Margaret spots me, giving a subtle nod as I slip into my seat. The prosecution is rummaging for more files, a dull hum of speculation among the audience. Marcus, perched in the front row, raises an eyebrow at my ruffled state. He suspects something but can't prove it, I tell myself, meeting his gaze with cold defiance. A minor witness takes the stand, referencing hospital supply ledgers. My mind remains half numb from the emotional crash of leaving Nyla behind again. The entire afternoon session crawls. I glean that tomorrow the prosecution might recall Zara for additional details. Fear stabs me. Zara continues to twist Nyla's words, fueling the jury's doubts. Without Trixa's stolen data to discredit her, we're cornered. By late afternoon, the judge adjourns. We shuffle out. Marcus stands near the exit, a vulture-like glint in his eyes. He tosses me a mocking smirk, as though to say, "Your nurse can't hide forever." I grit my teeth, refusing to engage. Outside, the press remains in a frenzy, but I slip around them. A Stone Board member named Andrews intercepts me on the courthouse steps, panting and furious. "Jacob, donors are dropping us left and right. Whatever reputation we got back from the outreach programs are falling down the drain. You're driving your sister to the ground," he hisses. "They fear Stone's brand is tainted by Trixa's alleged murder, Derek's disappearance, and your fiancé's trial. We cannot let this fiasco keep unraveling. You have to distance yourself from all of this." My stomach twists. "Meaning Nyla," I say bitterly. He hesitates, but then, "Yes, if it means stabilizing Stone Hospital. She's unstoppable bad PR. Our expansions..." I snap, "Stop! I'm not leaving her to rot!" My voice cracks. "If the board can't handle that, they can remove me. But I won't abandon Nyla or Derek." Andrews reddens. "You'll regret this." He stomps off, leaving me with a swirl of resentment and dread. Let them threaten me. Nyla's future matters more. Margaret approaches, worry etched on her brow. That didn't look good. I sigh. They want me to disclaim her. Not happening. My voice is drained. She sets a hand on my shoulder. Then let's focus on the trial, no matter how bleak it looks. We prep for Zara's second round. Maybe Trixa surfaces. We can't lose faith yet. She offers a thin smile. Go home, rest. Tomorrow's critical. I reach the manor well past sunset, staff mostly retired for the night. The hush is suffocating. My mind replays the conjugal visit on a loop. Nyla's trembling voice, the softness of her hair, the whispered names for our child. I want to keep that memory alive, but each moment also reminds me how precarious everything is. I slump in my study, rummaging for the ultrasound picture we snapped a few weeks back. Nyla's baby, a tiny shape full of possibility. My eyes burn, tears threatening. I can't let them tear this future away. The phone pings in my pocket. My heart leaps. Derek! Trixa! I yank it out, only to see a mere staff text about scheduling. Disappointment hits like a punch. Then dread sets in. What if Trixa truly has vanished forever? Or if Derek's dead? Tossing the phone on the desk, I bury my face in my hands. I can't show weakness in public, but alone the fear devours me. Over and over I see Zara's face in court, calm and certain as she knifes Nyla's reputation. Marcus smirking, the board turning on me. We have no backup from Alexander. He's busy with his own meltdown. Derek's gone. Trixa's hiding, or so the rumor says. Is there any path left to victory? Time drips by. My eyes drift shut in exhaustion. Then a sharp buzz from my phone jolts me upright. Unknown number. My pulse hammers. I snatch it up, reading. We have what you need to save her. Come alone or forget about your fiancé's future. My breath stutters. Fear and hope tangle in my gut. This could be Trixa. Could be a trap from Marcus. Could be anyone. But it's the first glimmer of potential help in days. If it's real, it might exonerate Nyla. If it's fake, I risk losing everything. My thumb hovers over the screen, uncertain. The memory of Nyla's tear-streaked face in that cramped room sears my thoughts. I'll do anything, I whisper, voice shaking. Anything to keep that baby safe. To see Nyla free, forging the future we dared to dream about. Eyes locked on the phone, I gather the last scraps of resolve. If this is real, I have to try. I mutter aloud, the silent walls offering no comfort.
I thought I was getting a fake marriage, but I didn't know my story was being told by Miss Tyla.
This isn't just any fake marriage now, is it?
No. You introduced me to the devil.
Come on, girl. Jacob isn't that bad.
Oh, I love Jacob. His family, on the other hand?
Beggars can't be choosers, Nyla. You should be grateful I even let Jacob Stone look your way.
I just wanted to save my granddaddy. Is that so bad? Why couldn't you let this be a normal fake marriage? Instead, you put me in a twisty story filled with money, betrayal, power, and lies.
Let's not forget love.
That's what keeps me going. But not gonna lie, Miss Tyla. This story you got me in ain't the simple fake marriage happy ending I thought it would be.
It's not. Where would be the fun in that?
Treat yourself to Say Less, I Love You. New releases every Thursday, now with longer episodes. Or skip the wait and grab the full series bundle from TylaWalker.com for up to 85% off. Treat yourself with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 330, Trixa. The thin mattress beneath me reeks of damp and dust, and my makeshift pillow is nothing but a rolled-up flannel. My arm throbs from the bullet graze I got a few nights ago. Just one more reminder of how close Marcus's men came to finishing me. Carefully, I draw a breath. Derek insisted we hide at his old friend's place out in the farmland, away from city eyes. Problem is, we might be sitting ducks if they track us here. I push myself up from the threadbare couch, wincing. Morning light trickles through grimy windows, outlining a modest farmhouse living room. The hush of isolation presses on my ears. No sirens, no city hum, just the rustle of distant trees and an anxious heartbeat that I realize belongs to me. My stomach twists. It's been days since we've been in this hideout, and I still can't shake the feeling we're being hunted. A lanky silhouette appears in the doorway. Eddie, Derek's friend from way back. He's wearing wire-rimmed glasses that slip down his nose, an oversized sweatshirt, and an expression full of jitters. His arms cradle a small paper bag of groceries. "Mornin'," he says softly, as if spooked by his own voice. "I, got you some fresh bread. There wasn't much left in the store, so I had to drive a few extra miles." I manage a grateful nod. "Thank you, Eddie. You didn't have to risk yourself." His eyes flick around. "I told you, Trixa, I owe Derek for that favor in Houston. But you can't keep hiding here indefinitely. Folks around these parts get nosy. Already had to dodge my neighbor's questions when he saw me on the main road." A prickle of dread tickles my spine. "We'll move on soon, I promise." He bobs his head, looking unconvinced. "I'll, go see if Derek needs help with your bandages." He disappears again, leaving me with the creeping sense that time is short. Rubbing my temples, I gather the courage to stand. The wound in my upper arm is stiff, but it's healing. I follow the smell of instant coffee into the kitchen, a cramped space with peeling floral wallpaper. Derek stands by the tiny stove, fiddling with a kettle. His t-shirt is rumpled, dark crescents under his eyes. The moment he spots me, his shoulders tense. "You should still be lying down," he mutters, not unkindly, just edged with worry. I ease onto a creaky wooden chair, exhaling. I can't sleep anymore. Every time I close my eyes, I see that guard's face. My voice snags on the memory of the gunshot, how I pulled the trigger, how he fell. Another bullet, another life lost. Derek looks away, jaw flexing. He wasn't innocent, Trix. He was one of Marcus's top enforcers. He fired first. But his children... My throat tightens. They have no father now, and the media is calling me a monster. Maybe I really... Derek abruptly sets a mug on the table, half filled with watery coffee. "Stop. You're not a monster. Marcus orchestrated this. He painted you as the scapegoat. If you hadn't shot him, we'd both be dead." We lock eyes. For a moment, the tension between us crackles. Anger, guilt, but also that unspoken closeness we've tried to ignore these last few days. My heart does a weird flutter. I shift my gaze to the battered laptop that sits at the end of the table. The flash drive sits next to it, the key to toppling Marcus's entire sabotage scheme. "We have to get this evidence to Jacob," I say quietly. "Or Nyla remains behind bars with the trial all but sealing her fate." "Yes," Derek agrees, voice dropping to a husk. "They must be suffering, Nyla and Jacob, with no sign from us. We can't stay hidden forever." Eddie re-enters, placing groceries on the counter. He checks the watch strapped to his thin wrist, frowning. "Saw a suspicious SUV again on my way back," he mutters. "Looked like it passed by the Orchard Road, real slow, as if scoping out addresses. I'm telling you, we might not have much longer. My neighbors, some are ex-military types who love gossip." I grit my teeth. "We'll leave soon, Eddie, just a few more hours to coordinate. I owe you big time for the shelter." He waves a jittery hand, stepping aside as Derek rummages for bread. "Just don't get yourselves shot in my driveway. I, prefer not to be on the front page with harboring fugitives plastered under my name." He tries for humor, but the fear in his eyes is real. I can't blame him. He's risking everything. We gather around the battered laptop and Derek's battered phone. He's tried calling Jacob or Margaret on secure channels daily, but we keep hitting dead air. The phone's screen is faintly cracked, reception is spotty out here, and Marcus's watchers might intercept any call. My frustration simmers. We're pinned by technology, pinned by distance, pinned by fear. "Let's try again," I say, forcing steadiness. "Maybe an encrypted email from your rig or a text from that old channel. If we can get a message to Jacob, we can arrange a meet." We slip him the data, he runs it to the courthouse. Bam. Nyla's exonerated. Derek's fingers tap the phone. All right. But if Marcus's men are monitoring the lines... I nod grimly. We risk them intercepting, but we have no choice. Eddie returns from rummaging in the living room, brandishing an old antenna contraption. "I used this for shortwave once. Might boost your phone's signal. Let's see if we can rig it up." While Derek fiddles with the phone, I hover too close behind him, pressing a hand to his shoulder so I can see the tiny screen. My breath catches the faint scent of his sweat and stale coffee. He glances back. Our gazes tangling. An unexpected wave of warmth flickers in my chest, but I immediately look away. He clears his throat. We got better bars now. I'm sending an encrypted text to Jacob's old number. Something like, Jacob, this is Derek. Let's meet. Time is short. We have the proof. I swallow. Mention we need him alone. No tail. We'll pick the location ourselves. He types quickly, tension coiling around us. The old phone sends the message with a beep. Then we wait, every second stretching. Eddie sets up the antenna near a window. The wind outside rattles the glass. It's midday by the time anything changes. Eddie bursts into the kitchen panting, one hand clutching that phone. We got a reply, look. He thrusts it out. The screen shows a short response from Jacob. Name the place, I'll be there. Relief floods my veins so quickly I almost collapse onto the chair. Derek exhales hard. He got it. Thank God. Then his eyes turn to me, an unspoken question. Where do we meet? I press a trembling hand over my mouth, tears pricking. This is it, I whisper, voice thick. We get the flash drive to him. He takes it to court. He testifies. He frees Nyla. The weight on my chest lifts a fraction, but Derek frowns. We can't just pick anywhere in the city or we risk a shootout on every corner. Marcus's watchers have grown bold. They know we're out here somewhere. Eddie pipes up, voice quivering. How about that orchard near the farmland? It's deserted at night. Another half-mile from there is an abandoned barn. I sometimes store junk in it. It's easy to hide from the road. I meet Derek's gaze. He's torn, wanting a location closer to the city, but safety first. Fine, he concedes. We text Jacob the barn coordinates. We meet him after dark, pass the data, and vanish again before Marcus's men show up. My pulse thuds. Yes, let's do it. The hours that follow crawl with anticipation. Eddie rummages for battered maps, ensuring we know the back roads by heart. Derek helps me rewrap the gauze on my arm, wincing at the bruising around my wound. We argue briefly over who holds the flash drive. I refuse to let it out of my sight, while Derek insists he can handle it so I can focus on moving quickly. We compromise. I tuck it in my jacket pocket, with him doubling up a backup USB in his bag. The tension thickens each time we peek through the curtains, half expecting black SUVs to roll up the dirt driveway. But the day stays eerily quiet. By sunset, the sky overhead glows purple, a stark contrast to the gloom in our hearts. Eddie leads us to his old pickup parked behind a shed. The engine sputters but roars to life on the second try. He's shaking, adjusting his glasses. I'll drive y'all halfway, then I gotta head back. My neighbor's got a vantage on the road, and if he sees me gone all night, questions will fly. Derek and I slide into the truck bed, huddling under a tarp for cover in case passing cars have prying eyes. My pulse is a drumbeat in my ears. The flash drive weighs on me like a 100-pound anchor. I keep hearing the faint echo of that guard's last groan. Focus on the mission, Trixa. One more run. Then we can fix everything. The pickup jostles down the gravel road, headlights off. The farmland around us is ghostly in the twilight. A battered fence lines one side, orchard trees on the other. My breath puffs in nervous spurts. Occasionally, Eddie curses under his breath, scanning the rear view. At last, he slows near an intersection of overgrown farmland. This is as far as I dare, he mutters, voice trembling. The barn you want is a short hike west through that orchard, maybe half a mile. I wish you luck. We climb out. Derek clasps Eddie's hand. We owe you. Stay safe. Eddie's eyes flick to me. Just survive, okay? And if you do, maybe set the record straight for me in case the cops come sniffing. I offer him a faint, grateful smile. Then he turns the truck around, disappearing into the deepening night. We walk under the pale moon, orchard trees looming like silent sentinels. The air smells of dust and rotting leaves. I clutch my pistol in one hand, jacket pocket zipped over the flash drive. Derek's footsteps crunch behind me. We speak in hushed tones. How's the arm? He asks. Manageable. I won't slow us down, I insist, though each step sends a nag of pain. We break through the orchard's edge, spotting an empty gravel lot and the silhouette of an old barn. My heart leaps at the sight of a single SUV parked with its lights off. Could that be Jacob? Or an ambush? Derek, I breathe, if it's not him. He nods curtly, eyes scanning the darkness. We keep low. We cross the lot, each footstep a clarion call in the hush. My nerves jangle. Then, from near the SUV, a figure shifts. They raise a hand or a silhouette of a wave. My heart lurches. That must be Jacob. I exhale shakily, half laughing, half crying in relief. He came, I whisper. We're maybe 10 yards away when everything explodes. 2 sets of headlights blaze from the opposite side of the barn, tires crunching as vehicles skid onto the gravel. A voice shouts, "They're here!" My blood runs cold. Multiple men leap out, rifles glinting in the moonlight. They open fire almost instantly. Rounds ping off the barn's tin siding, the acrid smell of gunpowder tearing through the orchard's calm. The figure by the SUV curses, diving for cover. I drop to my knees, Derek yanking me behind a stack of old crates. My ears ring with the staccato of gunfire. "They found us!" I shout over the din. "How?" Derek's eyes blaze, scanning for a vantage. Maybe they intercepted that text after all. Marcus's men, or mercenaries. We can't be sure. Bullets chew through the crate edges, splinters flying. I hiss in pain as a fragment nicks my cheek. "Jacob!" I scream, praying he's not shot. "Jacob, where are you?" No answer beyond more shots. A muzzle flash from behind the SUV hints at someone returning fire, pinned down. Could be him, or an ally, or even an unknown third party. My heart convulses with fear. A bullet apparently clips a can of gasoline or old chemical near the barn's wall, because an abrupt whoosh sets the wood alight. Orange flames roar up the siding, illuminating the chaos in harsh flickers. My breath catches. The glow reveals armed men behind 2 black SUVs, barrels pointed at us. Derek grinds his teeth, half lifting me. "We've got to move or we'll be roasted or shot." I cling to him, pressing the flash drive into his hand. "If I get pinned, you get this to Jacob." Promise. My voice shakes. He shoves it back at me. "No tricks." We go together. But I see the desperation in his eyes. A fresh hail of bullets clangs against metal. The attacker's shouts echo. "Don't let them escape!" My chest tightens. We're pinned from multiple sides. The barn's corner collapses in a swirl of sparks, sending a gust of heat that singes my face. I spot a narrow gap between 2 junked tractors. "That way," I hiss to Derek, nodding. He helps me scramble behind them. Smoke thickens the air, stinging my eyes. My wounded arm throbs as I grip my pistol. We crouch, hearts pounding. In the flicker of flames, I glimpse a shape that might be the same figure from the SUV, crawling behind a half-toppled wooden crate. He tries to call out. I think I hear trar, but a line of bullets makes him duck. The ground vibrates with the assault. "Could that be Jacob?" Derek whispers. "We have to confirm or—" Suddenly, an engine revs. One of the black SUVs tries to flank us, headlights slicing across the lot. I flinch from the glare. More shots ring out. My mind reels. We're caught in crossfire. We can't get to that figure if he's pinned. We can't confirm if it's Jacob or not. A bullet whizzes overhead, smashing a window behind me. Glass rains down. My ears scream with the cacophony. Thick smoke now billows from the barn's flames, turning the lot into a half-lit war zone. I clamp a hand over my mouth to keep from choking on fumes. Derek leans in, eyes burning with fear. We can't stay here. They'll corner us. I force a nod, adrenaline screaming in my veins. The flash drive is in my jacket, Nyla's entire future pinned to my chest. My eyes dart around for an escape route. The orchard is behind us, but men with rifles approach from the side. The SUV occupant, maybe Jacob, is pinned out of sight. I stifle panic. We either run or we try to rescue that figure and confirm it's Jacob. My heart wavers. Then, in a burst of flame-fueled brightness, I see a silhouette sprinting out from behind the SUV. He's waving an arm, maybe in our direction. My lips part in shock. That posture, could it be him? Shots explode anew. The silhouette drops to a knee, returning fire or diving behind crates. Trixa! I swear I hear my name this time, faint but clear. I try to stand, but Derek yanks me down. You'll be torn to shreds. We can't tell if the group from the orchard is closing in. Terror flashes white-hot in my mind. My entire body trembles. If that is Jacob, we can't just leave him. If it's not, we're risking our lives for a stranger. The barn's wall collapses in a shower of sparks, an inferno raging. The roaring heat blasts our faces. I clutch Derek's jacket. We either commit or we flee. Marcus's men have us pinned. My voice cracks. He nods, swallowing. We run on 3. Maybe we circle around, try to flank them. Another volley of bullets rips the air, making us duck. Fire crackles, lighting up a swirl of smoke that half blinds us. Now or never, I rasp. 1, Derek mutters, bracing. 2. His voice quivers. We exchange a final, desperate look, like soldiers diving into the last stand. 3! I surge upright, ignoring the agony in my arm. We sprint from cover, gunshots roaring. The orchard silhouettes converge from the side. I hear a voice bellowing orders, a hammered staccato of riflery. My lungs burn with the acrid smoke swirling from the barn. The ground is littered with bullet casings, half lost in the gloom. Amid the chaos, that tall silhouette tries to wave us further, but another gunshot splits the air. He staggers, or maybe ducks. My heart free falls. Is he hit? A roaring wave of flame surges behind me, an ear-splitting crack as the barn's roof caves. Derek shouts something, but I can't hear over the roar. Then we're enveloped by swirling smoke and gunfire from all sides. My ears ring so fiercely it's like cotton in my head. I hold the flash drive tight. We cannot lose this. If I fall, maybe Derek escapes with it. If Derek falls, maybe I can pass it to whoever stands. We cannot fail Nyla. A bullet zips past my ear, so close I feel the wind. My knees buckle. The orchard looms beyond, a potential escape route, but the muzzle flashes block our path. Another SUV rams forward, nearly crushing a set of crates. Sparks shower. I spin, half stumbling. The swirl of smoke reveals the silhouette again, just a few yards away, half sunk behind a turned-over barrel. Our eyes meet. I can't see his face properly, but it's a man. Then a thunderous volley of bullets blasts from the orchard side. I yelp, instinctively dropping flat. Something hot zings across my calf. Pain explodes. The silhouette also collapses behind the barrel, maybe from diving or from being hit. Everything reels, the conflagration lighting the night in hellish red. My breath comes in ragged gasps. Derek is lost behind swirling smoke to my left. The orchard men roar orders. I can't see who they are. Marcus's watchers? Rival goons? Another shot slams into the gravel near my hand, dirt spraying my face. We're pinned. We might die here. Tightening my grip on the flash drive, I muster the last of my courage, but I have no idea which direction is safe. If I crawl forward, I might reach the silhouette. If it's Jacob, we can pass him the data. If not, I might be stepping into a bullet. A final deafening roar of gunfire echoes, followed by the groan of metal and an explosion. The force knocks me sideways, head spinning. My vision wavers with dancing embers. This is it. Trixa! I faintly hear Derek's voice, or maybe it's the silhouette's voice. I can't tell. My entire body throbs with terror. The orchard is ablaze with muzzle flashes. The night sky flickers orange from the barn's collapse. Another bullet careens overhead. I press a hand to my temple, blinking through the haze. My lips part, wanting to scream for Derek, or for Jacob, or for some miracle. But the words catch in my throat. Then everything whips to black. The world tilts, gunfire filling my ears, the flash drive clutched in my fist. The only thought echoing in my fractured mind is, Nyla. I tried. Please, someone, finish this.
You think you can catch me? You think you can tame me?
Oh, I know I can. And you know it too, baby.
I gotta tell you, you're not the first to try.
But don't worry, baby. I'll be the last.
With sass like that, maybe I'll be the one that needs to tame you.
Let's cut to the chase, big boy. What you selling me?
Your appetite is big AF. I have just the thing that'll satisfy you.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Over 120 hours of romance audiobooks. Brought to you by Nyla Walker Romances in the Big AF Audio Bundle.
120 hours? That sounds amazing.
Your knees won't work afterwards if I do my job right.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Well, I can keep this promise. Because these audiobooks are unabridged with all the spicy scenes that will make you put your earbuds on. You know, Nyla can get freaky because she marked the bundle down by 69% for a limited time.
I can't wait to take this bundle for a ride.
Visit TylaWalker.com and get this audio bundle. Just don't start listening if you're going to be cooking dinner. Because you might just forget to feed your family.
TylaWalker.com. Escape your life with Nyla.
Chapter 3, 131. Jacob. I can't hear anything over the roar in my ears. Not my own breathing, not the pounding of my heart, nothing but the thunderous crack of gunfire and the hissing flames swallowing the barn. Each second feels elastic, drawn out by panic, turning me into a creature of reflex and terror. My thigh burns where a bullet grazed me, and the stench of smoke claws at my lungs with every breath. I lunge sideways, pressing my shoulder against the twisted remains of a steel crate. The orchard around me is lit in flickering bursts, orange tongues of fire from the barn behind me, muzzle flashes from all sides, dirt and gravel spray whenever a bullet hits near my feet, and I keep imagining one stray shot ripping through my chest. I never expected Trixa's lead to blow up like this. We'd planned a quiet handoff, a single meeting at an abandoned barn. For days that feel like decades, I'd prayed she'd resurface with the evidence to save Nyla. But as soon as I arrived, my breath ragged from stress, I realized the orchard was crawling with men wielding guns. Trixa and Derek must have come too, but everything spiraled out of control in less than a minute. A burning plank crashes from the barn's roof, sending sparks flaring, forcing me to duck. My mind screams, "Get out of here or die!" But I can't run. Trixa's still out there, or she was a moment ago, and I can't abandon her. She's my only chance to free Nyla. If Trixa dies, or if her flash drive is lost, everything is lost. A bullet pings off the crate behind me, the ricochet stinging my cheek with hot shards of metal. I clamp down on a shout, ignoring the fresh sting. The orchard is a blur of black silhouettes between tree trunks, muzzle flashes, making them flicker in and out like apparitions. The men keep hollering instructions to each other. Some of them definitely hired guns. Could be Marcus's watchers or maybe a rival group. It doesn't matter. All I know is they've cornered us. I creep forward, crouching behind the half-burned tractor that's partially flipped from an explosion. The intense heat from the barn sears my back. The acrid tang of gasoline chokes my nostrils. My eyes water so badly I can barely see. Suddenly, a figure barrels into me from the side, nearly sending me sprawling. I lash out, ready to swing my fists, until I see it's Sean, one of my bodyguards. Our eyes lock for a split second. His face is half blackened with soot, frantic with fear. "Jacob, we can't stay!" Sean gasps, hauling me lower behind the tractor's hulking tire. Another volley of bullets rips overhead, punching holes in the barn's metal siding. "They're all over the orchard. We're outnumbered 5-1. I pant, tasting smoke on my tongue. "Trixa's out there," I rasp. I saw her go down behind that crate, maybe 100 feet away. Another roar from the barn cuts me off, and I shield my face from flying embers. The whole building is collapsing in on itself. Sean scans the orchard's perimeter. "We can't reach her. You can't get pinned, too. If you die, so does any chance of clearing Nyla." Panic flares in my chest. What if Trixa has the flash drive? She could be bleeding out right now, or pinned by gunfire. The thought makes me want to retch. I have to do something. He grips my arm. "Jacob, we have no route. They're flanking from left and right. You see the muzzle flashes? Even the orchard path is blocked. We have to slip away before the cops or more mercenaries arrive. If the police show up, they'll arrest everyone." I grit my teeth so hard my jaw hurts. My entire body trembles. The orchard is thick with voices, men barking orders, someone screaming in pain, the orchard grass crunching underfoot. The strobe effect of flames behind them is horrifying, twisting their shadows into lunging beasts. But Trixa's shape. I last saw it half collapsing behind a large wooden crate. I can't just leave her, I hiss, voice cracking with frustration. Sean's expression wavers. We can circle around, but if we get pinned, game over. We could die for nothing. Then Nyla's done for. His words hit me like a punch. If I die, how does that help Nyla? She's still locked behind bars, waiting for evidence that Trixa promised. The logic is savage, but real. I'm paralyzed by the guilt of it. Another chunk of burning wood crashes near us, sparking a flare of heat that licks across my face. A surge of gunshots erupts from the orchard's far side. I glimpse one silhouette lying on the ground, possibly shot. Another figure tries to drag them away. I pray it's Trixa or Derek being rescued, but I can't tell. The wind shifts, carrying thick smoke that blinds me. My eyes sting. Sean tugs me backward. They're pushing in. If we don't move now, we're trapped. I swallow a cry of protest, glancing one last time into the chaos. The flames are unstoppable. The orchard is infested with hostiles, and there's no sign Trixa's on her feet. A wave of helpless fury surges inside me. Trixa might be dying, might be dead, or maybe she fled in a different direction. I have no clue. But Sean's right. If I let them corner me, no one will be left to save Nyla at all. My heart shatters as I nod, tears burning my eyes. Okay, I choke out, half limping as we slip away from the tractor. We hunch low, trying to keep the burned-out shell of an SUV between us and the orchard. Another hail of bullets pings overhead, making me flinch. Sean fires a few shots back with his pistol, covering us. My own gun is empty. I fired the last round earlier, and I never got the chance to reload. I fumble in my pocket for a spare mag, but my fingers are shaking so badly I drop it on the ground. Sean curses, stomping on the mag to keep it from skittering away, then scoops it up and jams it into my hand. We scramble to reload, adrenaline hammering at my skull. Another shape looms out of the smoke, brandishing a rifle. Sean squeezes off 2 shots, and the figure staggers, letting out a guttural cry. My stomach roils at the thought of more blood spilled, but I don't have time to dwell. The orchard's exit is only a short sprint away, but silhouettes block that route as well. The high-pitched whine of sirens drifts in from the distance. Somebody must have reported the firefight, or the raging barn fire. We can't risk the cops arresting me in the middle of a shootout. That'd be the end of any chance I have to testify for Nyla's sake. Sean motions me behind an overturned truck. We'll cut through the orchard's western row. If we time it right, we can slip past their flank. I nod shakily. We dart forward in short bursts, weaving around crates and smoldering debris. Every step feels like a marathon. My thigh throbs from the bullet graze, and my lungs scream for clean air. I'm half crouched, straining to see Trixa among the swirling shadows, but she's nowhere. My mouth floods with the bitter taste of smoke and regret. We reach the orchard's edge. Bullets whiz by, snapping branches overhead. One cracks so close to my ear that I stagger, falling to one knee. Sean yanks me up again. I glance back at the inferno behind us. The barn collapses in a final crash, sending a plume of embers skyward. Figures run in all directions. Some might be Trixa's allies, or random criminals, or panicked gunmen. Another wave of sirens blasts closer. Sean physically drags me the last few steps into the orchard's deeper shadows. The tall orchard grass whips at my ankles. We push between rows of fruit trees, trying to muzzle our gasping breath. Finally, the gunfire recedes behind us, replaced by the roar of flames and the approaching wail of sirens. My chest heaves. I collapse against a trunk, adrenaline draining away, leaving me shaky and half sick. Sean sets a hand on my shoulder. His eyes convey the same bleak message. We made it out, but Trixa... We can't say the same for her. Damn it, I rasp, burying my face in my hands. We lost her. We lost the flash drive. Nyla's entire future rests on that data Trixa was supposed to deliver. The realization sends a wave of grief. I can't even confirm if she's alive. Sean rubs his jaw. Jacob, I'm sorry. If we'd stayed, we'd both be riddled with bullets. Look, maybe Trixa had an escape route. She's cunning. She might have gotten away. Hot tears blur my vision. Or maybe those bastards murdered her. I saw her drop. She wasn't moving. My voice cracks. This is all going wrong. Nyla's trial's nearly done. Trixa's missing or dead. Derek's vanished. What the hell do I do now? I didn't even see my best friend. He glances away, letting me vent. I sense a flicker of pity in his posture, but also frustration. We regroup. If Trixa's alive, she might contact you again. If she's not, maybe you find another angle to disprove the forged evidence. I don't know, man. I slump, defeated. The orchard rustles around us, quiet except for the distant sirens. My phone is stuffed in my jacket, but it's likely no help. Even if Trixa tries to reach me, what good is it if she's been shot? I stare at the ground, fists clenched. It feels like I just lost the last lifeline for Nyla. Eventually, Sean taps my shoulder. We need to move, or cops might do a sweep. You're too high profile to get caught in a gunfight like this. He helps me limp deeper into the orchard. The policeman in me wants to call an ambulance for whoever's wounded, Trixa included, but I can't blow my cover. We cut across farmland for what feels like an eternity, stumbling in the dark. My thigh protests with every step, throbbing with an ugly burn. Finally, we emerge onto a quiet gravel road. Sean checks the phone's GPS. There's a main highway about half a mile north. I stashed my sedan near a fence. I grunt, my mind swirling with dread. The Orchard Group. I have no idea who they even were. Could be Marcus's men, but it felt bigger. Professionals and Trixa. My throat closes. This is a nightmare. He nods grimly. The sooner we vanish from here, the better. We can piece it together once we're safe. A silent trudge commences, each step a reminder of my guilt. If Trixa's dead, how do I free Nyla from prison? The entire drive Trixa had was our trump card. The memory of the orchard's muzzle flashes spins in my head like a broken reel, culminating in her silhouette dropping behind the crates. My heart wrenches each time I replay it, and I have to stifle a sob. At last we reach the highway, battered and exhausted. Sean leads me to his sedan hidden behind some shrubbery. I collapse into the passenger seat, mind still reeling. He fires up the engine. In the distance, red and blue lights swirl, likely converging on the orchard. The strong odor of gasoline and smoke clings to my clothes. Where do we go? Sean asks, pulling onto the deserted road. We can't head to the hospital board or the courthouse reeking of gunpowder. I slump against the seat, pressing a hand over my stinging thigh. Take me to the safe house on Willow Street. The one Margaret arranged. I need to call her. Let her know. The orchard meet turned into a bloodbath. He nods, turning onto a silent 2-lane road. The night engulfs us, and I close my eyes. The hum of the engine, a hollow comfort. My entire body trembles with the adrenaline crash. Trixa might be gone. Derek is already missing. And tomorrow's a new day in Nyla's trial. How can I possibly face it with no new evidence? Sometime later, the sedan glides onto Willow Street. The safe house is a drab, single-story building with a boarded fence. We slip in quietly. Sean parks around the back, kills the headlights. My thigh injury intensifies when I try to stand. He curses, helps me limp into the musty living room. Flicking on a dusty lamp, I sink onto a battered sofa, wincing. Sean grabs a first aid kit from the stash. Let me see. He gingerly peels back my pants leg. The bullet graze is ugly, raw, seeping blood. Lucky it didn't go deeper, he mutters, but you'll need some stitches soon. My throat is so tight I can barely speak. I let him disinfect the wound, each dab of antiseptic stinging. I force out words. Margaret, I have to call her. He nods. I'll finish wrapping you up. Go ahead. I fish my phone out, my fingers trembling so badly I almost drop it. Dialing Margaret's number, I press it to my ear. It rings 4 times before she picks up, her voice thick with exhaustion. Jacob, she says. God, it's nearly midnight. Where are you? Did you meet Trixa? Her words slam me. We were ambushed, I say hoarsely, my voice raw. Gunmen came out of nowhere. The barn burned down. Trixa. I saw her get shot, or at least fall. I couldn't get to her. I don't know if she's alive. Margaret inhales sharply. Jesus, did you get the drive? Any piece of new evidence? Tears threaten again, and I blink them away. No, if Trixa had it, it might be lost. I had to flee or I'd be dead. A pause. Jacob, tomorrow's day 3 of the trial. The judge might demand final arguments soon. Without Trixa's data, we're on shaky ground. We might push a motion for extension, but it's not guaranteed. I pinch the bridge of my nose. I know. I have nothing to fight with. My voice shakes with frustration. Zara's testifying again, right? She's been fueling the prosecution's narrative that Nyla planned everything. Margaret sighs. Yes, they're building up to a final condemnation. Unless we tear down their evidence, we face a near-certain guilty verdict. My heart clenches. I can't let that happen. I'll come in the morning, even if I'm half limping. Let's do what we can. Maybe Trixa or Derek somehow contact us by then. Margaret's quiet for a moment. Jacob, be prepared for the worst. I'm not giving up, but the jury's leaning heavily on Zara's testimonies. Marcus's side is confident. If Trixa's truly lost... She cuts off, her voice tight with sorrow. I swallow the lump in my throat. We'll keep going, I whisper, though I feel utterly broken. I'll see you at dawn. We hang up, and I slump back, letting Sean finish bandaging my leg. The stinging keeps me rooted in the present. My mind, though, lingers on Trixa's last silhouette. Could she have escaped? Or is she lying in that orchard, bleeding out, while sirens approach? The sorrow in my chest is a tangible weight. Sean finishes, exhaling. That's the best I can do for now. You'll need a proper doc soon, or it'll get infected. I nod absently. Thanks, I mutter. My gaze drifts to the ceiling. Spiderweb cracks in the plaster. I can't believe it ended this way. She was so close to saving Nyla. Now everything's back to zero. He places a hand on my shoulder. We're not at zero. We still have a trial day. Maybe Trixa appears in dramatic style, who knows? I let out a humorless laugh. I'm too battered to even hope for a miracle. A wave of exhaustion crushes me. I'll rest a few hours, then head to the courthouse. Sean hesitates. I'll stand guard. You get some sleep. I nod, too drained to argue. Lying on the couch, I close my eyes, but every flicker of the overhead lamp conjures images of the orchard, gunfire dancing in the smoke, Trixa's prone figure. My heart constricts painfully. Nyla's face overlays it all, her tearful eyes in that cramped conjugal room, begging me to save her. I can't let her down. But how can I fight a monstrous conspiracy with no proof left? Trixa was the proof, Derek was the link, and both are gone. My mind churns with worthless regrets until I pass out from sheer exhaustion. When I wake, the lamp overhead is off, replaced by a faint gray morning light filtering through grimy curtains. My watch reads 5:30. My entire body aches, especially my thigh. Sean dozes in a chair near the door, pistol in hand. I push myself upright, biting back a groan. The trial. I have to be there early. Maybe the judge will give us leeway. Maybe Trixa will appear at the last second. The tightness in my chest flares again. I nudge Sean. Let's go. I need to get to the courthouse. Keep me upright so the media doesn't see me limping too badly. He stirs, bleary-eyed. Sure, let me drive you. And you can fix your bandage. You look like a train wreck. A wry smile tugs at my mouth. Sounds about right. Within 10 minutes, we're in the sedan, pulling away from the safe house. The city awaits, an unfeeling sprawl of stone and glass where the press already hunts for fresh scandal. As Sean merges onto a main road, my phone buzzes. My heart leaps, but it's only a board member's text. Board meets at noon. You must address these controversies. I delete it angrily. The board can wait. Nyla's hearing is priority. Traffic is mercifully light at dawn. By the time we reach the courthouse, it's just after 6. The media presence is smaller, but a few vultures remain. I slip out of the car, wincing as my thigh protests. Sean stands near me, scanning the area for signs of danger. The orchard fiasco might lead the goons here, but so far it's calm. Inside, the courthouse corridors are mostly empty. I slump onto a bench outside the locked courtroom doors, hooking my cane from a corner for support. My mind swirling with half-formed plans. Maybe I can discredit Zara by referencing the potential forged hospital logs. But that's all guesswork. We needed Trixa's definitive proof. An hour crawls by. Margaret arrives, hair pinned back, eyes red from lack of sleep. She kneels by me, whispering, "You look awful, but we do what we must." I force a nod. No word from Trixa or Derek. The orchard fiasco was a total meltdown. She sighs. That means we're on our own, unless some miracle occurs. She checks her watch. We have a small window to place you on the stand to paint Nyla in a sympathetic light. But it's a long shot. I'm about to respond when my phone buzzes. My chest clenches, hoping it's Trixa. The screen shows an unknown number. I swipe anxiously. A single text. "We failed the orchard meet. Some survived. She's alive, but wounded. Don't lose hope." My heart leaps. "She's alive," I whisper to Margaret. "Trixa might still be alive." Relief wars with confusion. Who wrote this message? Derek? Another ally? They said not to lose hope. That she's wounded but not dead. My entire body sags with a mixture of relief and heartbreak. Margaret's eyes widen. Then maybe she'll appear after all. Hope flickers, fragile yet insistent. I cradle the phone like a lifeline. If Trixa or Derek recovers fast enough, they could still deliver the flash drive to court. Or perhaps I can get them to pass it off to an attorney or contact. The tension in my chest eases slightly, replaced by fresh determination. "All right," I say, standing shakily. "I'm done wallowing. Let's fight. If Trixa's alive, she might come at the last second. Meanwhile, let's discredit Zara any way we can. We'll show the jury that the funeral wreath receipt and that toll booth footage remains suspect. We can't surrender." Margaret nods, relief shining in her eyes. "That's the spirit. Let's do it." She helps me hobble to a restroom where I quickly wash my face, trying to look less like a battered fugitive. The bullet graze on my thigh is covered by slacks, so I hope no one notices my limp. By 7:30, the press trickles in. I brace for the onslaught. Cameras flash, reporters shout. I push past them, ignoring the stabs of pain in my leg. High intensity? Indeed, every breath feels like a countdown. The orchard fiasco ended in a fiasco. Trixa might be barely clinging to life somewhere, but a hidden text claims she's not gone. My chest thrums with adrenaline. If she does appear, it's going to be unstoppable. If she doesn't, I face an unstoppable conviction for Nyla. We find seats in the nearly empty courtroom, the overhead lights humming. I glance at the defense table, half expecting to see Nyla escorted in. They haven't brought her yet. My heart aches at the memory of her tear-stained face during that last conjugal visit. She's pinned behind bars while I'm pinned by conspiracies. The clock on the wall ticks impossibly loud. Finally, the bailiff ushers in a small group of prisoners, Nyla among them, ankles shackled. My chest tightens, seeing new bruises around her wrists and a shadow of heartbreak in her eyes. Our gazes lock. I mouth, "Trixa might be alive." Nyla's eyes go wide. Tears forming, but she can't speak. The guard prods her forward. She sits at the defense table, Margaret placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. I sink onto a bench behind them, ignoring the nattering from the prosecution side. Zara is there, face blank, presumably ready for more damning testimony. My blood boils. If Trixa doesn't show up soon, that woman's lies might finalize Nyla's doom. But I must believe Trixa can still come. The orchard fiasco nearly killed us all, but a text says she survived. A flicker of hope stirs inside me, fueling my battered resolve. For Nyla's sake, I'll keep fighting. For Trixa's sake, I'll pray she reappears. The bailiff steps forward, voice echoing in the hush. All rise. Court is now in session. I stand carefully, leg throbbing, raising my chin. This has to be the day we turn the tide or watch everything crumble. My heart pounds, the adrenaline from last night's near-death brush still pumping in my veins. I cast one last glance at Nyla. She sits with head bowed, eyes shining, lips pressed into a trembling line. I vow silently. I won't let the orchard fiasco bury our only shot at justice. Even if Trixa never arrives, I'll do anything to keep the flame of hope alive. Another bullet might wait for me after this hearing, but for now I stand, shoulders squared, determined not to let them see me break. Let the proceedings begin, the judge intones. The gavel raps once. The day's about to unfold, fueled by tension, raw from last night's ambush, and overshadowed by the uncertain fate of Trixa. No matter how painful it gets, I will fight to my last breath to save Nyla. And if Trixa truly survived, let that unstoppable force crash into this courtroom at the perfect moment, turning the entire trial upside down.